Jalen Phillips that many snaps going into the game, or was it just how he was playing and you're like, let's just roll with it?
No, that was the intention. He's been playing all year. It's not like he's been inactive.
As far as picking up the scheme, though.
Well, a lot of carryover from 23.
It's our first time speaking with you since that trade. What was your view of the acquisition and your background with him?
All for it.
What do you like about Jalen as a player?
You guys saw it. He plays hard. He's strong at the point, good pass rusher, you know.
Does it help?
When you shop at Nordstrom, you get good stuff.
Does it help you to have that different type of body type at that position with him on the team?
It's not so much body type, but I know what you're saying. It's the way he plays, you know. He plays big.
On that 4th and 1 with Morrow sort of calling it out, how is that rare for a defensive tackle to be able to do that?
You know, some of it's, you know, preparation during the week. Some of it's what's happened in the game. Some of it could be, you know, a stance that he sensed, whatever. But, you know, it's everything. But no, I don't think it's rare if you're a smart player, and Mo is.
You had a lot of moving parts this year, guys coming and going, injury layoffs, trades, coming out of retirement, going into retirement. When you look at the way they played together on Monday night, where does that come from? Just that ability to have kind of new pieces and play.
Yeah, I think the position coaches did a good job getting everybody ready. You know, like there's a lot of things you mentioned which are all true, but some of them have some carryover, like in Jalen's case. You know, BG obviously was here last year. He didn't get to play much because he was on a snap limitation. Same thing with Nolan. He was on a snap limitation. You know, Nolan's back and he's been here. So, yeah, I think overall the players and their position coaches did a good job getting them ready.
The secondary cornerback too was a big question in training camp. You had your own doubts that you expressed about Adoree in training camp. Are you surprised that he's still the guy there, and what does that say about him that he is still the guy there at this point?
No, I'm not really surprised. He's a survivor. You know, I think this is his 9th or 10th year. So if you've survived that long, you got a little something in you. And hopefully he can take that game, build on it, and keep playing good.
Another week for Michael Carter to practice. What have you seen in him that you like and he can fit?
Yeah, I think he's a good nickel. That's his best position. And he's learning the nuances of our defense, you know, different for him compared to Jalen. You know, everything's totally new for him. Plus, there's more to learn. But like him. And, you know, if we need another nickel, he's going in.
Campbell took over play calling last week for Detroit. What changed?
Well, I mean, they had 550 yards, I think, and about half of it was running and half of it was passing. So they were really good. And they got a lot of talent on that side of the ball. They got the best O-line in the league. Quarterback, according to Dan's, playing the best that he's ever played. 2 good running backs. The receivers are all fast. You know, it's a good unit to be calling plays for.
When you look at Jalen Phillips' impact, how much does he help Jalen Carter and vice versa with them both being on the field together?
Yeah, I think the more good players you have out there, it's going to benefit everybody. And, you know, that's not rocket science. When you get disruptive players, other players fall in the plays, you know, like on the sack that Jalen's got. I mean, Jalen really made the play, applied the pressure and flushed the quarterback. Jalen's finished it, you know. So the more players you have that can do that, the better off.
Some signs with Morrow either in the summer or last year that led you to believe he'd have this type of season?
Yeah, last year he played good. You know, he was playing, I don't know, Ruben would know how many snaps a game he was playing last year.
Exact same number this year as he did all last year. So about.
Yeah, so he was a 25 play a game guy last year. Now he's a lot more. But when he played last year, he played good.
Is that tough to sometimes project, like if that production will remain consistent when the snap count increases?
It shouldn't. In his case, the extra load does affect him a little bit. He's on the smaller size as a defensive lineman goes, so he's got to strain a little bit more than somebody else. So it does affect him a little bit that way.
How do you sort of view Jihad's role right now with the defense and moving forward?
Just what it's been. We're mixing him. He's playing some outside, playing some inside. Totally happy with his play at both spots and thrilled to have him.
Like a learning curve with he had a ton of snaps as a starter. Now he's moving around a little bit. It's kind of is it a lot on his plate as a rookie?
There is, particularly when we move him outside. Because all camp and everything, he was strictly inside because we knew N'Kobe was going to miss 7 games or whatever it was. And for a rookie, that's tough. You'd compare it to last year with Quinyon. We messed with him at nickel early in the offseason, a little bit of camp. Once we put him at right corner, never moved him, Same thing with Coop last year. He was the backup nickel to start because he missed all of camp, starting dime, so he had 2. And then once we said, hey, you're the nickel, you don't want to give a rookie too many extra jobs, but sometimes you're forced to.
Does Jihad give you a coverage element at that position that outside? Maybe?
Yeah, he should excel at that. He should. But again, it's the reps.
What did Jair show you when, the limited time you were with him in practice? What was kind of your perspective?
Yeah, I thought he was looking pretty good, and was anxious to see him play in a game and see how it looked. He decided otherwise, and we all respect that.
Jacorian, you had mentioned.
Hold on, real quick. As a coach.
Ooh, he kind of put you in your place there. Good.
As a coach, how do you go about balancing what's best for Jihad this week? Because I know you want to win the game.
Yeah, it's what's best for the team.
Take development and next year and that stuff into consideration.
No.
With Jacorian, you had mentioned a couple of weeks ago when he got back to practice, you used the term incomplete.
Mm-hmm. And it
You
hadn't
always
changed.
stress how important practice is. So you've had him for 3 weeks back in practice. How has he looked to you?
Still to say, I don't think you truly know anybody, particularly a corner, until you're out there where there's a scoreboard. And so it's kind of feel the same, but optimistic, but the same.
The last press conference when the topic of Cooper on the outside came up, you mentioned there wasn't really another option inside. Does Michael Carter's acquisition change the equation?
Possibly. Yep.
Do you think Jihad can grow into a full-time edge rusher as his career goes on?
Maybe. I like him as an ILB, but we'll see.
Do you think he needs to get better at it to be able to maybe become a full-time edge?
I just haven't seen him enough out there, so I don't know that I can give you an informed, great answer on that.
What happened for Cooper to become a full-time outside corner?
Cooper? Oh, just that the play out there is not good enough.
In Quignon's case, you've mixed up whether he's playing field side or boundary side. What dictates that? I want to get
Every game's different. Could be a jersey number, could be call, there's a ton of variables in it.
With
Really? Last round. Go ahead.
with Cooper outside, to get better, he's been at nickel all this time. Is there faith that if he has more reps there, that he would get better to the point where he would be able to start there?
Well, he does start there in the base. And Cooper's a little different in that all he played in college was corner. And there's a little less to learn there. It's mentally. But because of his background and his football acumen, he can adjust to that quicker and better than most.